Okay, it's time to put some fleece on our puppet head here. We got him all decked out. Nice little place in the back for the hands. He's got his chin, his upper lip. We're going to make all these features. They'll flatten out, but they're also going to come alive. So we've got all that ready to go. I have my fleece. This is Antron fleece. Now the important thing here is the fleece is a stretch. This way it stretches. This way, not so much. So what we want to do is we want the stretch. We want that stretch going across the face. And it'll help us get a nice tight fit. So we're going to come across like this. I want this at the bottom. Just go. Yep. Let me get this centered. Where's my center? I'll fold that baby in half. My center's about there. I want to fasten this right here. That will give me a lip down here. Now, so I got that fastened against the bottom, got all that height there. My mouth is here. What I'm going to do, pull that up a little bit. Pull that up just a little bit more. And work with the mouth open. I'm going to cut right here. We're going to trim this down to the lip. I have my hot glue gun warming up. I'm going to start this with my razor. Just get that little hole there. Woo! That helps me get started. Now, cut this over about the width of the mouth. Same on the other side. Okay. Beautiful. Make that a little bit even here. This is the most worrisome part for me. Because I have this chin. I'm like, all this. I don't want to lose this. But I'm not going to start there. I'm starting with the mouth. Then I'll actually work back down and I'll work up. Okay, I want to check this. Just going to go into the corners. Going to need a little more over here. Beautiful, that should work in there fine. Hot glue stick. Little trick I learned is get the glue gun warmed up. It doesn't turn on. Okay, so I'll take a moment for that to warm up. While it's warming up, what we're going to do is we're going to glue the bottom lip on. Now I got this big, deep pouch on this one, where it's going to allow for the teeth to come in. You know, so I've got that big well. So I'm actually going to try and get this to come into the well and glue that. And then I'll come up top and I'll glue along the edge of the mouth up there. I can't believe I forgot to turn on the power strip. So we're going to wait just a moment for this. And of course it's going to seem like forever. When we get this on, I'll show you, we'll go ahead and we'll be making darts to make the head fit. Then sewing it. But you can see here, just pull it here, how we get some of that texture from those facial features we used. Alright, glue gun's never fast when you need it to be fast. Okay, I got my glue gun warmed up finally. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in right here behind the back of the lip. In that deep well I made. I'm going to take and I'm going to glue this in the center. The center right there, right inside that well. Then I'm going to run all up inside this well here. On this one side. Get that tacked down. And we'll get to the other side, do the same thing. So I got that. Now I'm going to remove these pins I put in a little bit. I'll be able to stretch that down and get tucked up underneath my lip and around the chin. Get a lot of shape there. That's the first step, to get that lower lip in. Now I've got the upper lip. And I'll do the exact same thing. I'm going to glue this right around the edge of the mouth here. So I got this big hinge here, which makes this one a little more difficult than the regular mouth. Got a lot of extra space in between. Get that hot glue right on the inside of that lip. I want to bring the edge of the fleece right to the edge of that foam lip in there. Gives me a nice clean edge. Give it a little stretch when you can. Get it tight. So, stretching that in there. And they're looking pretty nice. So I've got my mouth here, and that's the first step. I'll go ahead and work on the lower jaw, get that in, then I'll come up top, get tightened up, get this in here good. Now I can remove this pin. That pin was just to make sure I had enough fleece at the bottom. Then when I pull this up and suddenly be here. See, that's going to pull down nice. The next step is I'm going to put some hot glue right here, right underneath that lip. Now, anything where you want a hard edge, hot glue works great. If you want a soft edge, you're going to want to use spray adhesive, or you're going to want to use contact cement, because this is a plastic. The hot glue is a plastic. It will dry hard. I want to get that in there. I'll pinch that in as good as I can. Get that crease. You can see I'm getting that crease real good. I'm even going to come here with the back of the scissors. I want some lip there. I want some shadow. So it's shadowing up nice in there. See that? Not so much over here on the edges. I want to kind of smooth out. Now, the next step is to bring my chin down and form my chin. And I can really just start by tacking this at the bottom. Where I've tucked it in so good up above, at this point, I just want to bring this down to the bottom. Bring that right down there. That right down there at the bottom, right where I want it. And that gives me a really good chin. And of course I'm going to put this, stretch these across. That's going to look really, really nice. Won't be overdone, but I have a lot of feature to it. Now, I'll bring this around as tight as I can. Right there, that bottom edge of that foam is fine. Hot glue's hot. No surprise there. Getting in here, all the way to the bottom, on the bottom edge of that mouth, that jaw piece. Get my fleece in there. Got pulled nice and tight. Have that coming in. Now I come over here and do this part. Stretch this down. There we go. You wet your thumb. You can keep a little jar of water, a little bowl of water for wetting your fingers, or I just lick my fingers. I guess I'm kind of tacky, but get that all the way along that edge. But with wet fingers, helps the hot glue harden just a little quicker and keeps you from getting burnt too much. One thing I have discovered though is no matter how careful you are with hot glue, you're going to get burnt. So now I have this. I'm going to have to have a dart down here, obviously, because I got a lot of floppy. Before I work on that, I want to work up top. I'm going to get this pulled tight, stretched out, really good. So, next step. So I get up underneath at the cheekbones, or yeah. So I get up underneath here with the hot glue again. I guess I'll do this side first. Right underneath the cheek. Pull this up. Pull this back. Get rid of these wrinkles here. But I want to get right up underneath there. I can feel the heat. I can feel right where that glue's at. It's hot right there. Then I'm going to take the back of my scissors and cut those in a little bit. Get those laugh lines working. So I got that nice laugh line in there. It's not. See, I trim these kind of shallow, kind of flat, so my laugh line won't be as deep as you see on some. With an older puppet, you're going to want a deeper laugh line. With a younger puppet, not as deep. Got that in there. I need to do the other side. And as I mentioned, I brought these down pretty smooth, so the laugh line's not going to be really deep on this feller. I've done some with really deep laugh lines. Get that hot glue in there. And then same thing. I'll pull this baby up. Pull that tight to the side. Get up underneath there. See, I can't get some nice deep lines. You see, nice cut deep here. So that's going to cast a really nice shadow. Shadow really gives that character. So drop a little glue right between the nose. Come around underneath the eyes. Same thing. Get underneath this brow, that eyebrow. So underneath the eyebrow real good. Bring this up. Put it to the sides. At this point, I'm going to put my hand inside. Push downward, put that glue in the middle. bring this right along the brow. Right along the brow. Other side, a little bit tight. I can get tight. Get it underneath there. So that's starting to look pretty good right there. It's looking pretty good. I throw a nose on there. Put some eyeballs in there. That's going to look pretty nice. I'm going on top of the brow. Pull that over. Put it back. That thing tight. I want to get that tight in there. Let's get that face nice and tight without any wrinkles on the face. Don't really want to put darts on the face if I can help it. So I'm putting darts back here. That's fine. With the Antron fleece, when I stitch up, they'll kind of disappear, and where they don't disappear because they're back, they're not seen. They're covered with hair, perhaps, and not seen. But right there, get that lip, get those eyebrows. And we're starting to get a face. Now, tricky part, figure out how I'm going to pull this to have the least amount of darts without wrinkles. Finding, look right down here. There's a pin. Let's give me a dart here on the side. And now pull this up over. It's a little bit trial and error at first. Here. Looks like I'm going to have to. What I'm going to do is have a little baby dart down here. I like small darts, not big darts. Put one here on the other side. So that'll be my lower cheek dart. Allows me to come up here. I'm going to pull those back out. Like I said, it's trial and error. What I want to do is turn this around. Okay, I have a dart here. For now, I'm going to tack this baby in. Nice tight. We're doing good over here. This side looks really nice. This will dart out. This will be a dart, and I'll sew it. Might leave that little overlap right there. That'd be kind of cute. But probably not. And then over here, I want to bring this up over like that. Now this will give me a dart right here. So I have a dart here. Cut that. And all you do is you fold it up like, see, I'm just pulling it up. I don't know if you can see here real good. I'm pulling it up and I'm cutting right here. This will give me the dart right there. So now I've already darted. I'm going to go ahead and tack it down with some pins so I don't get it spread. Okay. So we're going to have a dart right here. And then we're going to have a dart back here. Pull that up, pin that, pin that. So it's going to be my darts. I'll come right in close to the head. Just cut right along where I folded it up. Okay, hit my pin. So bring that up right across there. Make that line straight. So this will be a dart. Come down right along here. Now there's a little gap, which is good because when I sew it, the gap will close up. Not quite to the back of the head there. That's the center of the head here, so we're good. Center of the head. I can just cut this straight down. Okay, you see what I'm doing here? I'm cutting right down. Down the back center of the head. This will come around. So I got big long seam to sew. Bring this back. I'll trim that up. This will come over. I'm cutting this for a seam. Once I get this sewn up, nice and tight. These are not the eyes I'm using, but for demonstration. Put my eyes right in there. So that's going to come in really nice. The seams are back up here. Seems to be pretty much out of sight. If I put hair across the top, they'll be completely out of sight. Beautiful thing is, if you're hairing the top of the puppet, these seams don't even have to be perfect, as long as your face is perfect. And we'll have the bottom. Okay. I have a seam right here. And there's going to be a seam right across here. Next thing is the Antron fleece. It seems to pretty much disappear. Here's the other seam. This one needs to go. Dart there. Cut this up around the back of the foam. Okay, so I cut that up. There's my foam. Get rid of all that extra. I'll still be doing some tacking with this, actually with the hot glue. Get just right where I want it as I go. I'm using pins. This is across. This needs trimmed up right across. We're going to want the seam. So this is a dart. So when you cut that dart, what I'm going to do, I'm going to be putting hair on top of the head, so a lot of this will already be covered up. It'll be stitched up nice and back, looking good. This will be trimmed out. So at this point, what I have to do is glue and sew where the seams are. Get the rest of that tight. I got the face looking nice. Then I'll sew. Okay, that's the fancy schmancy one. This is the head, which doesn't have all the other features. It's going to be more of a Bert and Ernie type head. You know, the round face, won't have the cheekbones. But there's this guy. Trying to get him on camera for you. There we go. So he'll be a little bit easier to do. Okay, gotta check my stretch. Make sure my stretch is going across the face. Now I'm going to do this guy a little different. Instead of going across the whole mouth and cutting the gap, what I'm going to do here, so I'm going to do the top of the head and the bottom of the head separate, and then I'll just have a little stitch on both sides. Now, let's find our middle. Right about there. I want the middle to go right there in the middle of the lip. So this will be my first step, middle of the lip. Put that fleece right there. A little bit of hot glue. Let that cool off and harden. Bring this across here. Whoops. Okay, moved too soon. Lost that. Bring that right along that edge. Right along that edge. Gives you pretty nice, pretty clean edge. Pretty nice edge there. So you get that nice, clean edge right across. Nice clean edge right across there. You see that really nice there. Do the same thing on the other side. Putting the glue on the foam. I'll bring that over. Try to stretch it a little tight. Get a little stretch there. Got that stretch in the cloth. Use that stretch. We don't want saggy lips. You don't want this too loose. Want that in there. And that's looking good. You see how good that's looking? It's so simple. It looks so hard when you see. You look, oh, how you do that? That looks so tough. It just hot glues right in there, perfect. And I said, we don't have the features. This makes it a lot easier to do. Also, because you're going to do two separate pieces, I'm going to bring this right across here. I'm going to go ahead and hot glue from the middle of the back of the head back up to the edge of the mouth. So I'm getting right in here, middle of the back of the head. Let's bring this cloth back, continue to lay that cloth right on that edge. Try to get it tight. Hot glue. Get that tight there. So now, let that harden for a moment. I got a cute little dimple here, which will pull out a little bit. That going. The other side, I'm going to do the exact same thing. And this is where, yeah, I got. Did I get that thing centered? Yes. That's close. But it's going to go right along there on the other side. So again, we're getting right in here, right in here underneath. I'm putting it right on the bottom side of the foam on this head. And then the neck will attach there. Ooh, hot glue on my fingers, that hurts. Pull that thing tight. Pull that tight. There we go. Got it good and tight across there. Looking good. Just later on, bringing the back together. Actually got an awful lot of fleece here. Got an awful lot of fleece. Go ahead and take some of that off. Now be careful not to take too much, because I start to roll around the back of the head. So there will be a little bit of waste in this. Now I got this furry edge. I don't like that. So we're going right on the furry edge of that fleece. Get rid of that little furry edge. On that deer fleece will have that sometimes. Now, this is over the middle too much, so we'll trim that. And this back line, this back of the head, is all going to come right together. That fleece will stretch and so beautiful. What you're going to do is I'm going to put a little glue here. Bring this over. Get this lined up nice. So, getting this. This will be the back of the head. It looks like I'm actually going to be able to do this with one dart right here in the middle. You see that? There's the face. Looks like I can do this with one dart in the middle. Could, if I want to get it off center, I could lay it like this. That'll give me two darts. And what you got to do is, again, you just kind of trial and error to see where you're going to get, where your darts will lay and what's going to give you the best look. This is nice. I like that dart. So I'll pin that in place. So I think I could have done it with one dart. Two darts probably give me a better way to go. So we'll do that. Get that darted up here. So I got to start here. How's that going to come in back? Actually, you know what? This works. But I'm going to go back to the single dart. As I said, there's a little bit of trial and error with the fleece. This is always the part that's like, ah! with me. Alright, if I do this, pull this up, I like that. And where my nose will be, I think I'll help cover that seam. My eyes help cover that seam. See if I can get this just right. That's what I'm doing here. Yeah, that will work. Get those pins in there. Get a couple more up here. So I know where my seam is going to be. How's that coming? Now, I like that. I'm going to cut that out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cheat. It's not really cheating. I'm going to put a little drop of hot glue. Right there. So I know that's where I want this to fall. I know that's right where I want that to fall. So that's going to fall right there. Okay, I'm going to have a dart over here. And planned on it, didn't think I was going to need it, but I will have a dart over here. Okay, got that tacked down with hot glue. I'll bring this around. Put a little hot glue on the back of the head here. Now I'm going to bring this over. Get that nice and tight. That's helping me to see where those seams are going to fall. Looks like that other one will go right here. Right there. Now we got it. Just pins in there. And now we got it. I think that's going to work. Ah. Do this back here. Let's stick a pin in for that thing to stick. There we go. That's not good. That's better. Beautiful triceratops. Just a little drop of glue. Get that right where I want it. Now that's not going to move. There we go. That's going to be nice right there. That's what we want. I got this big dart up top. I dropped a little piece of glue here. Got some glue back here. I have another little dart back here on the side. That's okay. That's not going to bother me. It looks like I have one back here. Got that, but I got a nice flat face, which is what I really wanted. That nice flat face. Come and cut right along that seam, or dart, I should say, where there will be a seam. So that dart will come right across in there. Instead of pinning it, I'm actually going to put a drop of hot glue. I put it back away from the seam though. You don't want to put the glue right on the seam because you'll never get your needle through it. That should hold. You can do it with needle pins, you can do it with glue. I got that one with glue, I got this one with a pin. Got a pin there. And then I got to do the jaw. So I'm doing the jaw separate on this one. Again, take my fleece, got that big piece I cut off, check my stretch. Okay. I'm going to stretch this way. So I have an uneven edge here. I don't like this. This top edge here is uneven. So there's my stretch. There's my stretch. This is not even. You can see. You should be able to see right there. That is not even. What I do is take my ruler. Take my little roller cutter here. Just gonna roll right along the edge there. These are so sweet. They just cut that fabric like a razor blade. I can get a nice straight edge. Blade closest, put that away. Take care of those. You don't want them getting dull. So now we have the bottom of our head. So sweet. What we're going to do is again the same thing. I'm going to need this whole width, but I don't want to waste fleece. So I start here. It's going to give me plenty. I think I can cut right along here. Save a lot of fleece. I have an awful lot back here. Cut this off. Probably about there. Or about right across here. This would be good. I can use it for covering ears, use it for covering noses. Okay, Antron fleece especially is expensive. I don't want to waste any more than I have to. This gives me this. Again, we'll put my cloth right along this lip. I'm going to put right along this, put my glue across that lip, and then I'm going to lay the fleece across that lip. And time for our hot glue stick. Okay, put a little hot glue on the end of the stick. Put it in, it holds together really well this way. Actually got about 2/3 of that. Let's see my stretches here. My middle is here. I'll go ahead and actually stick a pin right there in that middle spot where I don't lose that. Now I can bring this around, roll it across, right there on the edge of the lip. So sweet. Look at that. That is so nice. Goes in there so nice. Stretch it just a little bit. So as I put the pin there, I can stretch this just a little bit, which is good. So I got that part done. Now we're going to do the other half. Stretching it as I go. It's amazing. It'll curve right around there without having to cut a curve. Wet my thumb, get that back down. See how good that's looking there. That is looking really, really good. Here we go. Hi. I got a beard. Yeah, it's a beard. It's not going to be a beard forever. He's looking pretty good. Now the next step, of course, is to finish the jaw. And this is going to stretch really nice. Comes over across, just it looks like I can do this without a dart, which is really nice. And what I'm going to do is I can use hot glue like I did. I am going to use a little bit of fast tack. Pull this where I want it. Pull this where I want it. Get that on there. Nice and smooth over the whole jaw. Nice and smooth. That fast tack dry. I'm going to go ahead and pin this. It'll stay nice and tight for me. Get that stretched out. Got that jaw stretched really good. Actually was able to do this without a seam. Oops, I'm off camera. There we go. We have to do that without a seam, without a dart. There's a little bit here and here. We'll be trimming this up, bringing that even with the rest of the mouth. So as you see, this one works out really nice and smooth, really easy to do. Back of the head. We'll come up here, seamed up together. As this comes off the back. Take this off. See where that's going to fall. This will all come together really nice. Let that dry a little bit. Might want to do just a little stitch along here, maybe a little. It's looking good though. And we've got the bottom, and you can use the spray glue again for that. I'm going to go back to the hot glue and get this rolled over. Before I do that, I'm going to trim it. I'm going to leave just enough to roll over. So I've got a 1/2 inch foam. I'm going to leave about a 1/2 inch around here. So I got that 1/2 inch, which will roll right over. Then I'm going to put my neck on. It'll come right in there. So got that going. I'll take out these two pins. Do about half of it. I'll go back and do the other half. Wet fingers. those fingers wet. That hot glue is hot. Do the same thing over here. Got my pins now. Get that glue right on that edge. Got that nice clean edge there. That's looking good. That's looking good. That mouth's looking good right there. There's another pin to come out. Now what I'm going to do here, if you look close, got that little bitty edge. I'm going to be putting a couple stitches there. It won't take much. I mean, it's invisible now, but a couple stitches, it'll be looking good. Once I get this stitched up, sew that by hand, and then I'll bring around the rest of the back, sew that all together, and that head will be ready to put on the neck and the ears and all that great stuff. So he's looking good. Just got to, at this point it's hand sewing, which I know you don't want to watch. So I'm going to hand sew this. I'm bringing this around, darting it, stitching it. This fella, same thing, a lot of hand stitching going on. And I'll get him together. I'm going to work on this mouth down here. So we're going to go off camera, we're going to do some hand stitching. I'll be stitching that right up. I can take this pin off his cheek. Okay, I'm going to show you the top secret Muppet stitch. This is often called the Muppet stitch. It's called the Henson stitch. It's really just a ladder stitch. But we're going to show you this. This is how you can make stitches without seams. Now fleece, this is antron fleece, so it's really fuzzy. And that's important to hide in the seams. You can use regular fleece, polar fleece, that works. It will hide the seams. Antron Muppet fleece does a much better job. But this will work with regular fleece. No pill fleece, not so much. But there is a way to make it pill. We start with our thread. Get this in here. I'm actually using dark blue thread, which probably seems crazy. Here, let me see if I get better color on the other side. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to use a dark blue thread, which I wouldn't use on a puppet with this color fleece. I like to use a light color thread with the light color fleece, try to match the color to the fleece. But for demonstration purposes, I'm actually going to show you this. What we're going to do, you take the needle, go in here, in one side, underneath, up through the bottom of the other side. Now I'm going to come up, that side I just came out of, come back down, and come up underneath the other one, just up from where I was. Bring that up. I'm not going to pull these real tight yet. I'm going to come up, go underneath, go down to the bottom, up on the underside of that other one. So I'm making like a little ladder. I'll come up, go down, up underneath, and back out. So I come up a little bit, and up through the bottom of the other piece again. Come up. Let's see if I got a piece of scratch paper. So what I'm doing is I have my 2 pieces of fleece. I have 2 pieces of fleece. Okay. I come in here, underneath, out here, up. Underneath, up here, up, down, underneath, up, underneath, up, underneath, up. So, go in here, go underneath, up. This is high. Go down through, up through the bottom, and up. Back down to the bottom, underneath, back up. Make that little ladder all the way up. Next, I'm not pulling tight yet. And you do this when you're doing your fleece. There we go. So. I'm going to go up, underneath, out the other side from the underneath. Go up. So going underneath. Back up from the bottom side. Now you'll know, if you paying attention, you should notice, and this is so cool, I have this curved needle. It's a quilting needle. I love these things. Since I started using a curved needle for my sewing, I just won't go back to a straight needle. There's that curved needle. Small. Now I've got several steps on my ladder. I'm going to pull this tight. It just pulls that thread right in. That colored thread disappears. Now I take a little bit of Velcro, get the rough stuff. Pulling that fleece up. Oh, that Velcro tip is great. I learned that from Barry Gardner. You take the hook side of the Velcro, you just pull that right up, and that seam just disappears. That seam is gone. You can't. And I was using dark thread. Now I got dark thread. That seam just disappears right into the fleece. You're not going to see that. That is beautiful. So that's called the ladder stitch or the Henson stitch. The top secret Muppet stitch to make seams disappear. Okay, I've got the fleece on, looking good. There we go. He's ready for his neck. Actually, be the next part. Next part will be putting the neck on him. But before I put the neck on him, I need to make the body. You make the body, that way you get the length of your neck. So here's this fella. He's the one with the fat, smooth face. The more traditional Muppet style flat face. And here's my one. I got him all stitched up. He's got a nice chin there. I'll be highlighting this chin. Then we'll highlight underneath the nose. Once you get that nose in there, the eyes in there. Again, these are not the ones I'm using, but just for reference, just for reference. You can see how he's going to look. He'll look very good. Got a nice little bitty nose. I like that little bitty nose. Of course, I can also put a bigger nose on him. Got that bigger nose up there. You can see how that would look. So he kind of look. And of course the ears. But the next step for me will be the body and the neck. Now this feller, since we didn't try him with a nose, see how he'd look. Actually, I might use this nose on him. Whoops. Kind of like that nose on him. Don't like those eyes on him. It certainly will look pretty good. So we've got that going for us now. Next step is the body. We'll do the bodies. After we do the bodies, we'll put the necks on. Once you have the necks and the bodies, then it's arms, legs, ears, nose, features, hair.